Hey everybody, welcome back to Let's Talk Mental Health.
This week we will be talking about burnout and toxic positivity. Let's start out with discussing with how our week went and how our goals went that we accomplished. How'd your week go?
My week went pretty good actually. I got done mainly, I guess you could say, all my goals. I still have to tie up a few loose ends, but I couldn't do it today because today's a holiday. And my other goal was to work out every day for the week, but I kind of didn't do that. So
How many days did you work out?
I did work out 3 to 4 days. So I couldn't for the other days because, cramps with girl time in the month.
That's what I'm dealing with today.
Yeah.
You get half a gold star, I guess. My week was okay, I guess. It was kind of frustrating. I was dealing with a lot of PMS. I was kind of bitchy and grumpy all the time. Work was stressful. I was working weird hours last week. Sometimes I work 7 to 3, sometimes I work 6 to 2, so I don't really have time to do much after work, so I'm so tired. But my goal was to do something different at the gym, and I think I did that. I did the leg press. I changed up my routine a little bit. I used to just kind of have a set routine, but I've been switching it up a little bit. And my other goal was to not get grumpy when things don't go my way. I think I've been doing pretty good with that. If I make a plan and something doesn't go my way, I'm like, okay, it's fine. We'll come up with another plan. Today we weren't sure the college was open because of the stupid holiday called Family Day, but I came here after the gym and realized that it was open, so Bree came around 1 o'clock-ish. It was fine. Everything was fine. Everything worked out the way we wanted it to.
Yeah, true.
So last week you heard about story time with me. My story is about how I don't like to be touched. This week is story time with Bree.
And her went to Hiawatha, which is a hiking trail, back in 2017. It was May, so it was starting to get really hot out. And we decided to walk there because we don't have any other option. We have to take we can't take the bus, so we have to walk there. So it was boiling hot that day, and it's an hour and a half, 2 hour walk there and back. So we walked for 2 hours. It was a fine walk there. It wasn't as bad or anything.
A lot of hills.
Yeah. Just go up and down, up and down.
Oh my god.
It's pretty bad there. Other than that, it was fine there. Once we got there, however, we were exhausted. I had to pee really badly. I got into an outhouse, and when I was coming out of it, I got attacked by a dog, almost, pretty much, and the dog was running at me, and I thought it was a black bear or something. And then we decided to hike up further into the falls, and we took our shoes and socks off and all that, and decided to go into the water. And my foot got stuck in a rock, and it's either I went off the waterfall or I just bloody up my foot, basically. So my toe got just fucked and everything, and I had to limp the whole way back with a bloody foot and all that. So that was fun. But anyways, we were there for an hour.
Yeah, we stayed for an hour.
We were there for an hour. And yeah, so then when we walked back, we got back into the city because this was out of the city. And then we had to wait for the bus, and we almost fell asleep, so we almost missed the bus. But yeah, so that was a pretty once you're now we're just oh, that's a fun adventure. It was pretty fun.
We had a good day.
It's funny,
At the time.
We're
I want to die. Why did we do this?
Let me out.
Why did we just beg someone for a ride here?
Yeah.
Fascinating?
Yo.
Well, you might have a case of burnout. Burnout is basically a state of emotional and physical and mental exhaustion caused by excessive and prolonged stress. It occurs when you feel overwhelmed, emotionally drained, and unable to meet constant demands. Burnout can also cause long-term changes to your body and make you feel vulnerable to illnesses like colds and flu. So basically, burnout is when you have like way too much on your plate and you're constantly just like, you have all these demands to meet, all these people to see, all these meetings to go to, and you're just like physically. What do you do? Burnout is just having like a lot on your plate, not knowing how to handle it, getting emotionally and physically stressed and exhausted from it. Like we have a lot going on for us right now, but we're trying to like take it easy on ourselves because we don't want to get like too stressed out. That's why we're doing the videos once a week, and we haven't done a newsletter in a while, but I'm just gonna leave that to the side because I don't want to like overwhelm ourselves with too much shit going on. Plus, like me working 5 days a week, we have to like be careful because we don't want to stress ourselves out.
I guess you could say I've been dealing with it a lot lately, and in order for me to actually just like my whole body basically just shuts down, like I have to get to the point where I feel like I'm gonna die kind of thing, before I know it's burnout. So it gets really horrible. Like I start getting dizzy spells, my panic attacks increase. So I know it's burnout because I've been telling people no lately. I've been taking care of myself, just paying attention to what my body needs right now, and telling everybody else just to fuck off, basically. Because once you experience burnout, it's just like, it's me time now. You can't do for anybody else. You just have to focus on what's important for you. And that's exactly what I'm going through right now, so.
Experience burnout was when my first year of college, I was taking a program I didn't really want to take. I was taking early childhood education, and that's when I realized how much I hate kids, and like the thought of having children around is just kind of traumatizing for me because of the program. Like I had like so much classwork and stuff. Like the first semester I did really good. I went to all my classes on time. Like I was 18 at the time, so I was still young and wanted to like party and hang out with people all the time. So like I wasn't focusing on class as much as I should. And like I completely like crashed second semester. I was like, what am I doing with my life? Where am I going with this? I fucking hate kids. They're nasty. Like I was just like, what am I doing with my life? Like, I've been in an existential crisis mode since that first year of college. So then I took a year off. I did nothing that year. I was depressed as fuck. Didn't really talk to people. And then the next year I was like, you know what? I'm ready to go back to school. I think I can do this. And it was something more than along the lines that I wanted to take. I took a program called Social Service Worker, and like I really wanted to do this. Like I had my heart set on it. But like again, the first semester went great. Went to all my classes on time, got good grades, etc. Second semester is when I was taking on too much. I was working out a lot. I was going to the gym. Like I was just like completely focused 100%, but I also wasn't taking care of myself at the same time. I just completely crashed a second time, and I haven't gone back to school since. Like I've taken random psychology and sociology classes because I do want to go back to school eventually, so I don't want to have like too many classes when I do go back. So that's what I've been doing, but I'm trying not to like take too much on right now because I know I'm gonna burn out again, and I don't want to do that. But there are some ways to like prevent burnout. You can start saying no to people like Bree's been doing. Eliminate some stressors, or like too many things on your plate. Cut those out of your life. You don't have to do so much at a time. Tell people, no, I can't do this right now. I have tons going on. Like, you know, like just cut those things out of your life. It's not easy at first. People will be like, oh, you're not spending enough time with me, and they'll start making you feel guilty for that kind of stuff. Which isn't fair. You should make people feel guilty for not spending time with you. That's gonna make them want to spend less time with you. Right. So yeah, that's burnout. Can you think of any other examples of burnout, or how to prevent it, or things you would do to prevent burnout?
Well, I think with everybody it's different. Like you guys like know you guys know how your body works and stuff. So like once you feel um like most people usually like start feeling symptoms like of tiredness and dizziness and um you just feel like your brain is shutting down and stuff. So once you feel that, like don't don't carry on like don't carry on doing the things like you were doing. Like know when to cut back on certain things and give yourself some downtime. That's really important too, because when you're taking on excessive loads of when you're taking on that a lot of things, a lot of tasks, you start to stress yourself out. So I think everybody knows like what their breaking point kind of is. So just don't get to the point basically of
Know the signs and symptoms of like when you start feeling tired and you're just like procrastinating. You know you have a bunch of things to do, but you take a nap instead.
Yeah.
Like those are some small little signs where you're just like, hey, maybe this is enough. Maybe I need to like eliminate something and to make myself feel a little less overwhelmed. That also comes from being overwhelmed.
Yeah.
With burnout. And like it's if you like overwhelm yourself too much, you're just gonna
Breaker game. It's a word game, and basically I'll say a word and she has to say a word that is the last letter of the word I used, and it goes back and forth kind of thing until we probably fuck up.
Yeah.
So I'll start. Window.
Wall.
Lamp.
Penis.
Scrotum.
Margarita.
Ooh. Penis.
Simple.
Ecstatic.
Cock.
Right.
Elephant.
Tit.
Table.
Ears.
Spaghetti.
Igloo. Fucking money.
Ham.
Yeah. Monkey.
Yellow.
Rus.
Stripes.
Shit.
Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Xylophone, guess.
Easter.
Roller. Ruler, actually, sorry, ruler.
Ramp. 5 seconds.
E. Pussy.
Okay. So that was the icebreaker game. Another one of those fun games that we just do something random, expect those. We're gonna have like I was hungry, so I got some spaghetti out of the freezer, put it in the microwave. We sat down, we did some more editing for a bit, and then it beeped, and I was like, beep beep. We said fuck, and then we waited for a few more minutes, and then I was like, be right back, and I go get my bowl of depression.
So toxic positivity is based on good intentions, but can also be very damaging to one's mental health.
Like being positive is a good thing, like, but it's another thing to say like things like good vibes only or hashtag no negativity here. Like people aren't allowed to be negative at all every once in a while. Like
Right.
You're allowed to have your dark days. You're allowed to, you know, be like, this is too much for me to handle right now, you know, kind of thing.
Right.
So that's a toxic positivity is there's things that you could say other than just stay positive. You could say, I understand you're going through a hard time right now. Is there anything that I could do to help make it better? Kind of thing. Like you can help people without having to shove the idea down their throat that they have to be positive 24/7. Like I dated somebody like that last year and it was exhausting. I would be having a bad day and he'd be like, oh, you don't need to be depressed, just be positive all the time. And I'm like, I'm positive, I'm gonna fucking hate you. Kind of thing. Like, oh, it was just an exhausting relationship. It was so unhealthy.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts on remaining people thinking you have to remain positive all the time.
You definitely shouldn't remain positive all the time.
It's exhausting.
Nobody can really.
No.
It's not possible at all. Like, you definitely should be able to let out your emotions, whatever you're going through. If you're ever feeling negative, having a bad day.
Sorry, I was just thinking about me farting. Okay. Okay, carry on.
I will. I will. It's like I'm always trying to.
Go on.
So anyways, yeah, so being too positive. Being too positive is a very actually negative thing, you know?
It is.
So don't be afraid to say you're having a bad day or feel like you feel like a failure or you feel like just yeah. Anyways, though, so yeah, just if you have bad days, go through your bad days. If you have good days, go through your good days. That's all you can do.
Being positive all the time is not like good vibes only 24/7. It's understanding the fact that you're having a bad day and you know today is dark, but you understand that the future will get brighter and it won't just happen magically. You take baby steps. It will take a lot of hard work. But just know that you don't have to be that positive person 24/7. You don't have to you don't have to hide in a bubble and be like completely 100% like, oh my god, everything's beautiful and magical 24/7. If you're feeling that way, just feel that way. You're allowed to. You don't have to be happy all the time. You don't have to be like 100% positive. You can let out your emotions and just own it. Just own that shit. So that leads into question of the day for you if you want to answer it. So when was the time that you felt burnout and how did you handle it? Also, how do you deal with people being too positive all the time when you're having a bad day and you really don't want to be positive all the time? Answer the questions down below.
Yeah, and you don't have to if you don't.
Or if you're not watching.
Yeah.
That's fine too. So goal setting for the week. My 2 goals this week are to go to bed at a decent hour and cut back on fast food. Bree, what are your goals?
My 2 goals are to visit my other grandma, since a lot of people know my other grandma passed away. I still have my other one, thankfully, left. But I definitely need to spend some time with her, so I'm going to do that. And my second goal is to try a little harder with finding a job, even though it's very difficult right now, this time. Mm-hmm. But I'm going to try, so.
High five.
Yes.
And our goal together, we have a together goal, is to try to get the group more out there, advertise it more, even though we're broke and we can't afford marketing, but that's okay. We'll figure something out. We'll try to, I don't want to be, super popular, but I want it to get, out there and, people,
you just want to be able to, spread awareness for it.
Spread awareness, spread the word.
Exactly.
Apparently.
Thank you for watching this week's video. Subscribe for more videos on mental health. Our videos are out anytime between Friday and Monday too, so it's always a guess game.
Yeah, whenever I can edit it. Thank you for watching. Meetings to go to, and you're just physically. What are you doing?
I was just being dramatic.
Oh, okay, that's fine. I was like, is she okay?
Yeah.
She her eyes were
I was just mocking, because you're just oh, it's so exhausting, and I was just like.
Your eyes are rolling back your head. I was like, is she gonna have a seizure? I don't know.
I mean, CPR. Everybody thinks I'm a demon, so.
I think you are.
Might as well just act like one, right?
Yeah, anyway,
Are you good? You're asking me if I'm okay. Are you okay?
I'm fine. Coffee makes me fart, apparently. I'm gonna be real.
Oh, gosh.
But yeah.
Tasks and stuff.
What? Excessive loads.
Okay. That too.
I have to poo. But I'll wait till the end of the video.
Yeah.
My stomach hurts. I won't shit on camera. I swear.
Okay.
So story time. Bree was over at my house because we were editing last week's video, and I was hungry. I could hear my stomach growling really loudly in the distance.
I can't with you. Oh my god. Are you sure you're not gonna shit
I'm
yourself?
gonna shit myself.
Come on.
Oh my god.
Oh no. Thank God we're not live.
Oh my god, can you imagine? Oh dear.
Oh no.
So,